When they stated that this film was one of the most depressing films ever made, they were not messing around. This film is not meant to sensationalize substances or alter our perception. This is just the cold, hard reality of the life of someone who chooses this lifestyle. It's not meant for us to try and understand or change anyone's mind about it. They leave the stories here, and we take it however we decode it. Jared Leto, Marlon Wayans, Jennifer Connelly, Ellen Burstyn. All phenomenal. Especially Burstyn's infamous monologue. I read in the facts about this film that the camera ventures off Burstyn while she speaks that monologue. It is revealed that the cameraman was in fact crying. He fogged up the lens, but they ended up using that shot in the actual film. I love that. I love that her dialogue actually touched the cameraman so much that he was trying to conceal the fact that he was actually crying while she was speaking her lines. I love that. This film follows 4 people as their lives all intertwine, except for Sarah, who is Harry's mother. She just wants to look good on TV, winning a spot on one of her favorite shows. She doesn't quite fit into the red dress that holds a sentimental significance for her, so she takes matters into her own hands. She goes on a diet. It doesn't go quite as planned, so she decides that taking some pills will be quicker for her. She finds out the hard way that as the body adjusts to things, the body thinks it can handle more, so she plays with that a little too close to the edge, causing her to surpass the edge, and then some. I feel like she's the most relatable out of the 4. She didn't plan on what happened to her. It gradually spun out of control for her as it overpowered her. Whereas with the other 3, I feel like they wanted to be overpowered. We then have Tyrone, Harry's friend. Ty and Harry are 2 peas in a drug-infested pond, just swimming aimlessly until drowning is the only option. It leads him into a hellish prison, literally and mentally. Withdrawal is not for the faint of heart, especially if you don't even want it. If you don't have a choice because you can't get your next fix. I also think that Tyrone is haunted because they keep showing his mother, so I'm wondering if he was haunted by some kind of trauma from his mom and he just doesn't want to remember. That's my take on it. Then we have Marion, Harry's girlfriend. She could be doing anything with her life. She talks about her parents, how they would do anything for her, but they're just too involved. She's spoiled, and I feel like she's just rebellious for the hell of it. Being with someone as lost as Harry, she chooses to be lost along beside him, and it ends up dragging her into a world that now has her chained to its side. She relies on Harry, even though Harry can't even rely on himself. Marion chose this life for herself, but I feel like she would never take accountability for it. I feel like she will always blame Harry. And that's the sad part, because Harry's so lost that it's a shame. We'll just go on to his story. And we have Harry at the center of all of this. He's selfish, and yet he has so many people relying on him. Tyrone relies on Harry to make money so they can get their next fix. Marion relies on Harry to be a boyfriend who will always be there for her, even though she ends up doing things she's not proud of. And then we have Harry's mother, who just wants to see her son, even though her son keeps stealing from her. Harry wants to do good by her, but only as long as she doesn't see the dark illusions of his life. He tries to convince her to get off of the pills, even though he has his own problem. His problem leads to a much darker resolution. There's no happy ending for any of these characters, I'm sad to say. This is just the cold, hard truth of addiction. Not everything is sunshines and rainbows. When you're tied to this world, darkness and emptiness becomes a shadowy friend that will only stab you in the back in the end. It does for these characters, unfortunately. I value the way this film was shot and how fever dream-like it was, almost as if showing you the POV through their eyes. That was a brilliant touch. All incredible performances in this, and the music was spot on to fit the atmosphere of this film as well. I would recommend you view this film at least once, but just keep in mind, it will leave you in a sadness that lingers for a while, so just be prepared for that. That's all I'm gonna say about this film, because it just leaves you with a somber feeling, and I'm gonna step away from that. Not saying that this film's not good. It is. Because if it's leaving me in this feeling, that means that it impacted me. And that's what you want in a film. So we're leaving it at that. This is Carey Craves Cinema. Stay geeky for movies, my friends.